What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a new season. A new NFL season kicks off tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football, Chiefs, Lions. But before all that, we got the Win Daily NFL DraftCast. Last year, I want to say a great success, but we've done a little tweaks this year. We brought in Tony Cotillo, the Jigsaw, and we're going to do some audience picks too as well. And we can't wait to get into this. I'm Dave Gluckner. We got Jason Mizrahi and Tony Cotillo. And let's just start to go here. Jay, what's up, brother?
Not much, man. Excited, man. Got big games, tomorrow night. Got big news on Kelsey, so we're gonna be playing some showdowns for Thursday night. And then, look, it's a nice slate, man. A lot of great games. Football's back, and then got a big game, Buffalo and the Jets. So I'm kind of excited, man. I'm kind of excited about what we got going on WinDailySports.com. Our new site's gonna be launching any second, any minute, any day. So be on the lookout for that. And your Eagles are back, man. The Eagles are gonna be in contention. Mets are out of it, but your Phillies are still in it. So good luck to you guys in Philly town. But I'm happy about everything, man. I'm excited about this NFL season, of course.
All right. With that, we're going to get into this soon, but we got to bring in the new member, the edge of the team, the one with a little bit of jigs on the knife, right? The Jigsaw, Tony Cotillo. What's up, brother?
What's up, fellas, man? This is I'm so excited. Like I watched you guys last year. I watched the PGA guys, and I was like, man, I got to get into this. Even though my time's limited, because listen, Jigsaw's a popular guy nowadays. It is what it is. And I like how the New York guy specifically goes New York. Who cares about Buffalo and New York? We care about New England and Philadelphia, okay?
Oh, yeah.
We care. That's what we care about. Listen, it is what it is. Let's talk a little Fly Eagles Fly. I know our boy B will probably be in the comments giving us a little Eagles fight song saying as well. But nah, man, listen, it's gonna be good, man. You guys are brilliant in a lot of your techniques and your analytics. So I'm kind of like the edgy fun guy. So that's why I'm with the audience tonight. We're going to have some fun with this.
All right. Well, with that, let's set some ground rules. We got the bell ringer here. I think last year, might have had the most wins. So I will decide. I'll take first pick and decide where I want to pick. Then we're going to go with Jason, the seasoned veteran, then Tony from the audience. So, and then as you know, audience, chime in. Tony's going to help guide your team. Very similar to PGA DraftCast where Sia helps guide your team. The most votes, maybe he'll go with, but maybe he'll go with one he likes a little more, one out of the dark or left field. So with that, I mean, for sure, I'm going to take the second pick this go round. Jay, and I'm going to leave it up to you to decide if you want 1, 3, or 4.
Since it's the first DraftCast of the year, I'll take 1, man. Let Tony get the double picks at the end. So I'll go with the pick number 1. I know who I'm going with. I might even go with him in our season-long draft that's about to kick off in a half an hour. So we'll see how that plays out. But Tony, you got the double whammy, 3rd and 4th pick. So you're looking good, man.
Well, Tony,
I like it.
You get the choice of the 3rd or the 4th pick. And
right, I can get the audience.
Got the audience. I forgot about that.
Okay,
yeah, there you go.
Sounds good. All right, let me get up let's move to the side here and get up our, our share screen here. There it goes. We got the nice, Eagles green. I'm wearing the Kelly green tonight. It's the city edition, and we're looking good. It's not necessarily in order on here, but we're going to move it around, and we're fine. I'm going to lead off with you, Jay. It's your time to shine.
I'm going to go with the Cheetah, Tyreek Hill. Good matchup. This game's got one of the highest overs of the entire slate. We might be looking at it a lot. I'm sure you guys are targeting it as well. Tyreek, Tua is going to be healthy week 1, so I'm going to take Tyreek, and hopefully this game shoots out. I got a 50-point over-under. You got stacks both ways. It's going to be a popular play. But I think Tyreek's in for a big season this year as long as Tua stays healthy. And, of course, week 1, he's the top dog for me.
Love Tyreek. We've talked about Tony on the series show. Potential for 2,000 yards this year, and it starts off this week. I'm going to go a little off the grain with my second pick. I've just been looking, and I need this defense to really build my team and get the right salary. I got the Commanders at 2,800 going against who knows with Arizona. Right?
I was thinking about it. I really was thinking about it. But I was like, nah, I can't do it. Nobody else is going to do it, and you did it, bro.
Yeah, I did. I mean, listen, I'm getting the free square. And we talk about free squares. It's Arizona. It's who knows who's at quarterback, Clayton Tune, whoever. I'll take a chance to build my team with the cheapest defense I can get with high value, and I'll punt it over you, Tone.
Wow, man. I like how this is starting already, man, because this is, I did not expect that. Listen, so everybody knows I'm kind of green here, right? So, Dave taking a defense, I'm thinking, wait a minute, nobody's taking a quarterback? Like, I got to get used to this, man. So listen, it's really going to give you a decent, mind of thinking here. And I'm going to be interesting, man. Dave, you made me do it. You made me do it.
Let's
You
go.
did defense, right? Jay, I'm going to go receiver. Okay. I'm going to go with George Pickens. I'm going to buy into the hype. Okay. He's going up against a 26th ranked defense. I've been fading. Dave knows. Been fading San Francisco all over the place. I want nothing from San Francisco. I like what Kenny Pickett has become in the preseason. I think, Tomlin has really allowed these two guys to really grow in the offseason, man. And for 5,000, I think I'm getting a wide receiver one. So I'm all in on George Pickens.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And, honestly, 5,000 is such a good price for a wide receiver. A number one, in my opinion, over Deontay Johnson. So, Tony, do we have some comments?
Yeah, we do. It's like, the audience is up now, and it looks like the audience is going receiver again, right? I think the audience we got 2 votes already for Keenan Allen. Now, I will say this is hard. I'm gonna have to put Keenan Allen in there because that's what the audience wants. But Keenan Allen,
Tony, you don't have to if you don't want.
Well, I will. I
got a stack that I wanted Keenan Allen with, and these damn audience players already ruining my entire lineup.
You're not letting me finish, man. The reason why I'm letting the audience pick him because I would never pick Keenan Allen because he has completely screwed me every single year. Hamstring, knee, concussion. Dude, I'm sick of it. Just shave the beard. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. So I'll let the audience take Keenan Allen. Listen, 7,300. I mean, listen, Herbert's supposed to have a really good year this year. So I'll give the audience Keenan Allen. And if I just hear a kind of boned a New York guy, it even helps me out even better.
We're telling the audience is back up. So it looks like they want Herbert. So they got that.
I see that. They're stacking. They're stacking. Jimmy's got in there. Jimmy's like Keenan Allen, then Justin Herbert, right? Avon, he likes starting with the stack. Dave, they're already like your 6,900 is pretty good.
No, the Chargers are probably one of my favorite stacks. Top 3, we'll talk stacks after we get done the draft, but I think the Chargers are a real nice stack. So starting off in that realm, right? See, I'm more of a Mike Williams guy. I think Mike Williams is their number one.
Jay's a Mike Williams guy too.
Yeah, and I get it. And Keenan Allen gets you that safe landing spot. And when we're just trying to beat the 3 of us right now, right? Keenan Allen's a good pick.
He is. He should be consistent, right? I mean, he should be. And the only knock I have on him, guys, is that his injury history. He's always missing games, man. If it's not for that, it's a good pick.
Yeah, Jay, you're getting called Spencer.
Well, look at this. Jay might be the Jay. That's some pretty big shoes to fill right there.
Yeah,
that's a compliment. I'll take that as a compliment. So,
okay, all right, yeah, you should. All right, Tone, you're up.
Man, so now so we're snaking, right? So it comes back to me. Beans. I'm taking Pickens at 5,000. That gives me a lot of room to play with, right? A whole lot of room to play with. And now I have to think about it. And I have to think about, do I want to kind of run exactly the way I've been for all the serious shows and go? But weather's a factor, man. Weather is a factor. And weather scares me. I'm gonna go with another wide receiver. And I'm going to stick to the script. Listen, guys, it's green. We're going to go green. No, I'm not going A.J. Brown. I'm going with Devontae Smith. Give me Devontae Smith at 7,200. Listen, this guy, I said it last year. Every single prop that you put on Devontae Smith, not only did he hit it, but he hit it in the first quarter. He's going to get you 5 for 50 every single game. And I think this year, he's going to be the better receiver over A.J. Brown. So give me Devontae at 7,200.
Yeah.
Thank God there's one Charger receiver left. Give me Mike Williams. Thank you for talking about him, Dave. I wanted my original lineup that I had molded was a Herbert, Mike Williams, Tyreek Hill, and Keenan super stack of this game. It's probably going to be popular. Got an over under, like I said, of 50. Mike Williams, I've been hearing, might line up in a slot more often. Keenan Allen, a little bit of, some deep balls might go his way. I think Mike Williams have a monster year. At 5,700, he's probably my favorite wide receiver off the board. I just took Tyreek earlier because I figured somebody might take Tyreek first. So I have a nice balance lineup. I'm not gonna go with my super stack anymore, but give me Mike Will slot 5,700, great price on DraftKings.
It's funny. 4 out of the 7 picks have already come in that game environment of the Chargers Dolphins. So it's really interesting to see here how people are starting to line up that game particularly. And it is one of the highest totals on the board this weekend. I'm going to look myself at a receiver that I'm very fond of. Hopefully later tonight he'll be available in our Win Daily draft. But I'm going Calvin Ridley. I really am expecting huge things. We've seen that offense. 6,500, I think, is way cheap this week for Calvin Ridley. That's one thing about week 1. I think we got a lot of underpriced players. I can probably pay up in a couple spots and still be good. We have some really low receivers. Ridley's one I want to pay up for. And I'm going to pay up for Austin Eckler. I'm going to believe in you guys, except I'm going to hope that it's the running game this week. And I'm going to take the 8,400. And really feel good about that game getting in the 50s. So I'll take the other piece of that game that I think is really important in DFS this week.
Yeah, with me only having to beat, 3 other people here, I got Tyreek. I wanted Herbert, but I'm going to go out there and grab my quarterback. I'll go Lamar Jackson. I think he got his money. He's got a great matchup. Sticks likes him. If you haven't read Sticks' article, windailysports.com, he wrote him up. Herbert, better value, I think. Lamar Jackson, I think he comes out and shines, man. I really do. And I hope he takes advantage of the young rookie in Zay Flowers and, rushes one in for a touchdown potentially. Lamar in a 50-50 cash game, single entry. He's got 30-point upside, and he probably has a 15, 20-point floor too. So you get best of both worlds with a guy like Lamar.
I like it. I think Lamar is in for an MVP caliber season. So we'll see if that starts off in week 1 against Houston. Tony, where is your mind thinking?
Man, listen, this is so much fun. Like, I just tell you that because it is, because I've never done this with you guys before. And now my mind is all over the place, man. Like, it's all over. Like, where do I want to go? And Dave, you went Eckler. Okay. So let's just keep this going. Just like Sirius on Sunday nights. Give me my man, Nick Chubb. Okay. Yep. So Nick Chubb, for my money, is the #1 ranked running back on my board this year. Everybody can, Dave likes Eckler. I like Chubb. We kind of been back and forth all year. Don't give me CMC. Listen, everything about that team under Kevin Stefanski, you heard it in the offseason. Nick Chubb saying, I want to be involved more in the passing game. Guess what? They're going to involve him more in the passing game. And the reclamation project of Deshaun Watson. Listen, I love everything about Nick Chubb, man. So he's definitely, Jay said 30-point potential for Lamar Jackson. Obviously, the quarterback position, I'm easy 20-point potential for Nick Chubb, possibly going 25 to 30 with a double touchdown week this week.
Well, he had one game against Cincinnati last year where he rushed for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns, 28-point output. So even though that scary number of Cincinnati's ranked defense, 7th against the rush, Chubb can do it. And I agree with you. Chubb is like my top 3. I'm not all the way to 1 like you, but I do really think he's going to be in for a fantastic season. One, you want to overdraft Chubb. That's just it's the honest truth in season-long leagues. I think you want to overdraft him. Don't you agree, Tone?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, anytime you get I got to watch my words. I was going to say, anytime you get a chance to grab a little Chubb, you got to get it. But so, like, I got to really be careful. Yeah. I know FCC rules don't apply, right? So, but it's all good. But now, listen, I look at there. To me, there's a lot of question marks up top, right? Even though Saquon signed his deal, right? Everybody's in on Bijan. I get it; he's still a rookie. I'd rather go with the finished product, and those 2 guys are Eckler and Chubb. I'm just a little higher on one than the other. Now it's the audience, Dave, right? The audience is up, and this is going to be interesting. So we got 2 votes, and they're one's for Raheem Mostert back in that game. Okay, it's very popular, and now Aaron Jones. Right, Yvonne, it's like an Aaron Jones. I'll tell you what, Aaron Jones is going to be one of my picks on the way back. So I have to play this right here. Right. So I will give the audience Aaron Jones. I like that game in Chicago for them from that standpoint. Listen, Dave sold me on Jordan Love this year. I came in not sold on Jordan Love. And Dave, after doing shows with Dave every single week, he sold me on Jordan Love. So I think Jordan Love is going to give a lot more love to Aaron Jones this year, and he's going to be one of their best receivers out of the backfield. So I like AJ.
Yeah, I'm big on Green Bay. I wrote an article today just saying 7.5 win total. I think they go over. So they don't play a playoff team until week 9. Their first 8 games are against non-playoff teams from last year. And I mean, they could be some slow going, but they're going to be okay this year. Third easiest schedule. Aaron Jones is in for a huge year. Huge year.
Yeah, I again, like I said, it's just for me, it's the catching ability from Aaron Jones, right? I mean, it's Christian Watson, and then who else? It's Aaron Jones, right? I mean, so yeah, I think he's in for a big year. Now, back-to-back picks here. It looks like we're gonna stick with that game. Okay, the Miami game again. Let's give the audience their double running backs. Give them a wishbone right now and give them Raheem Mostert. Obviously, the question marks of Tua and how that offense is going to go. I love the little fiery, of Tua getting in people's face in the press conferences. So I do like that. So again, Raheem Mostert, though, really good running back. Healthy, right? It's all about health with Mostert. If he can stay healthy and his knees can hold up, man, he's going to have a really good year on that offense.
Agreed. What do you think, Jay?
That was another pick that I was going to take, so I hate the audience. I'm not talking much because I'm trying to rearrange my lineup now. He was the other running back I wanted, great value price. I think my original stack was Tyreek, Mostert, Mike Williams, Keenan with Herbert. I think that might be a popular, all-in kind of 5-man game stack. You're double stacking both sides of Herbert through the air, Mostert and Tyreek running back. You're hoping for a 30-28 game, something like that, back and forth through 4 quarters. It's going to be a popular build. I'll definitely have that build, a couple times throughout in any kind of multi-entering that I'm doing. So I love the play. A-Chain I do like as well. Not really for week 1, but I think he can pop off, for season long and stuff like that. So I'm with the pick. He was in my lineup. I'm now looking for other players to go with. So you guys, for the most part, locked up a lot of the running backs. Eckler up top, Chubb up top. All great picks so far.
And before we get to Jigsaw's pick, let me just say the audience going with Herbert, Jones, Mostert, Allen. It's a good start. So good job, Jimmy and Yvonne. Anyone else out there that wants to chime in and join the audience picks, please do. Going forward here, we'll have some interesting stuff for the audience. But, testing out week 1, and already we're going to be up against some solid competition. So, Tone, you're on the clock.
This is an easy one for me, man. This is an easy one for me. I'm going running back.
Punching it.
I'm going running back.
Oh,
and again, I'm going to go with this guy who I think is going to have a huge year. Last year, 50 catches out of the backfield, the highest target to catch ratio of all running backs in the NFL at 93%. This guy only missed 8 balls thrown to him last year, and that's Tampa Bay running back Rachaad White. Give me Rachaad White, 5,500. Listen, Baker Mayfield, okay, what is Baker going to do? Baker can barely throw the ball 30 yards. He's going to throw to Rachaad White all day long, right? We already see the issues with Mike Evans. Is he going to sign long-term? Is his head going to be in Godwin? Obviously, he's going to be the guy. But listen, this is Rachaad White's team out of the backfield, man. I'm excited for Rachaad White. Listen, do I say 80 catches this year out of the backfield? I'll tell you what, man, just take off half of what Fournette did last year and give that plus 50 to Rachaad White. 80 is a no-brainer.
And it's against the Vikings.
The Vikings.
The Vikings. 31st in points against.
Yes.
Very good value at 5,500. Love the pick. Also love him for season long. Wink, wink. All right, Jay, you're up.
You can have him for season long.
Oh, God.
There we go.
I'm going to go out. He was a guy that I was looking to, he fit the same kind of price tag as Mostert. So I was actually like, do I have to drop, go ahead and get White? Not a bad play, 5,500. You could have got some dump offs, like Tony said, playing from behind in Tampa Bay. So easily can find his way in the end zone. Matchup for this guy, I like a little bit better. I know there's talk about Charbonnet, taking touches away from Kenneth Walker, but it's week 1. He's going to be healthy. Love the matchup. They're big favorites here going into week 1. Good matchup across the board. Going against the Rams. They should put this game away, and it should be a lot of Kenneth Walker. 2 touchdowns. I can easily see that happening. So price tag, $6K. Let me get him 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, maybe catches a pass or 2. I'm not expecting this game to be close at all. So it should be a lot of Kenneth Walker in the 4th quarter. So Walker, $6K, fair price for this dude.
They might make me type in the 3rd. Oh, they did. All right, we got it. I'm big on Kenneth Walker this year too. I do think Seattle's one of those teams I think can. And Tony, I'll flip it to you. As much as like we're probably not loving the San Francisco hype train, the one team that can challenge them, I feel, is Seattle out west. So I like Kenneth Walker this year. I'm not worried about Charbonnet. I'm with you, Jay. I think Kenneth Walker is going to be their number one, 70, 80% of the snaps.
No, I completely agree. I think he's being underdrafted, in my opinion. I think all that hype around Charbonnet, which I don't know why. If you look at past history with Pete Carroll, man, he is a guy who likes to. I mean, listen, just go back to Marshawn Lynch, right? He likes to really lean on bell cow running backs, and Kenneth Walker played last year, even though he did get hurt. Still, he was very productive, and the only way you're going to make Geno Smith continue to be productive is have a solid running game, right? So, and I think that obviously bounces around Kenneth Walker. He showed me a little more than I thought last year, guys. I didn't know he was more. I thought he was more of a east to west runner, but he was more of a north to south between the tackles guy. He's a pretty big dude, man. I think he's going to do a lot of good this year, especially in the end zone.
Jay, what do you think about Seattle's chances? Do you think that last year was a fluke, or do you think they're going to be okay this year?
I don't want to give up too much of my my season-long draft picks right now, but
geez, man, come on, you're gonna get like one of these guys. Like,
yeah. And by the way, we're drafting 4, 5, 6. We're in a sandwich together.
Yeah. So you guys are gonna be spiking me.
We got Chubbs and sandwiches.
I know. Sia likes Walker. I mean, Charbonnet. I like Seattle. I like Geno Smith a bunch. I think, guys, the truth, man. I really think he's gonna have a very similar season to last year. Maybe even more comfortable than last year. He gets an extra receiver this year. If they can stay healthy, man, I think this team is a playoff team.
Yep.
Geno's a leader. And I think Metcalf can get better. Like, he dropped balls. He was sometimes out of it. If he makes a couple more plays, gets a little bit more consistent, he could be a top 10 receiver. Geno could be a top 12, top 10 quarterback. They're complete. I'm not sure about the defense. Not the same defense they used to be. San Fran, super tough. Like, that team is got no holes anywhere. Offensive line, defensive line, running backs. They got talent, too much talent offensively outside of Purdy.
All right, there's the hole.
A little suspect, but like, if they had anything last year, they probably, go to the Super Bowl or close to it. So, they're a really good team, but I think Seattle's a playoff team. I think Geno bounces back, has another good year for sure.
I agree with everything you said, and I do think Seattle's legit and dangerous, and at least in the discussion for NFC West Championship or a playoff team. So I'm looking at my next pick, and I know DeMeco Ryans has taken over the reins in Houston. I know he's that guy that will try and find ways to adjust and be better. But Lovie Smith was a defensive coach too and couldn't figure it out. This team just doesn't have the talent up front. Will Anderson they drafted, I know, and they got some other pieces, but they were still the 32nd ranked run defense in the league last year. Give me J.K. Dobbins. I just feel like this is a good spot for a Ravens run game. Jay, I know you already got Lamar. I think J.K. is very similar in that aspect. And there we go. 6,600, I think, is a good price. I wanted to maybe pair up Calvin Ridley, but I'd rather stay in the game and not pair up Calvin Ridley. And what I mean by that, I'm going Anthony Richardson.
Oh,
if there's a chance if we get a discount on a quarterback this week, it's Anthony Richardson. It just really is 5,600. I watched him live in the Eagles game the other week. I didn't love him flapping his wings, throwing a touchdown, but in the end, I said, this dude cared. He wants to be out there. He wants to play. The guys like him. They're going to give him every chance to succeed. He'll fail, but he's going to get a lot of running yards. He's different, man. Give me him at 5,600. I think it's the steal of the quarterback play this week.
Yeah, Colts are not that smart of an organization. Like, you draft a rookie quarterback and then you don't figure out Jonathan Taylor. You have a good defense. It's tough, man. It's going to be tough starting from offensive line issues, no running back. After, Pittman, do they have a wide receiver? I think the kid's in trouble. I think all these rookie quarterbacks are going to be in trouble, but there is some rushing upside for sure. Yep. My pick, I'm surprised you guys let him come this far back. I was going to go with him originally. I was going Mozart, but Madison, cupcake matchup. I thought you guys somebody would have scooped him. So feel safe about him. I like the Dobbins play too. think that's really solid. Eckler, Dobbins. But Madison, great value. He'll probably be popular, don't get me wrong, but we're just trying to beat each other, talk about plays. He's probably going to be at least 10, 15% owned. I think there's some other chalk out there, running back position, that you can maybe get a little bit cheaper. Maybe I'll get him, maybe I won't, but I think that has more bust potential. So we'll talk about him, but I think Madison's in line. Good matchup. They should win easily here. Should be a soft matchup for them where they're running the ball. Any running backs that I want opportunities to score touchdowns. And I want to, at least game theory in my head, they're favored by 6. They're going to be up 7-10 in the fourth quarter at least. And, they're going to be running the ball in Madison. That's the way I see it here against Tampa Bay. Baker's trash. Mike Evans doesn't want to be there. Chris Godwin probably going to get hurt. This Tampa Bay team's going to be bad.
I will say this. Madison's in my top 5 of DFS running back plays. And you're getting him here. So really, really nice pick. Tone, it's to you, but if you want to comment on Madison too before you pick, go ahead.
No, listen, I love Madison.
Yeah.
We talked about him. It's a battering ram, man. Like that's the thing. I mean, you look at number one, they're going to run the ball. We already know that. And when he played for Dalvin Cook, and he listen, you could see that extra explosiveness he had about him, right? And there's a reason why they're allowing him to be that number one guy. So now I like Madison this year. I think he's a really good season-long play. Obviously, this week with that game, I love that Tampa Bay Minnesota game. I think there's a lot of good plays in that game, and he's one of them. But going to my pick, man, this is easy for me, man. Everybody's stacking guys. Everybody, listen, man. My number one ranked quarterback is Jalen Hurts this week.
Yeah, I thought
and here's my thing. I honestly wasn't going to go in and take Jalen Hurts. That's why I went Pickens first. That's why I went Rashad White. I went Devontae Smith. Here you go. I was going to go Kenny Pickett. I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah.
I was going to wait and go Kenny Pickett at 5,500, right? Or 5,200. But he's going to be my sleeper DFS quarterback of the week. But listen, Jalen Hurts is out there, $7,800. His first 3 weeks last week averaged 33.5 when it comes to fantasy points on the standard league schedule. So just from a DFS standpoint, listen, man, New England stinks.
Dave,
okay?
should we teach I like the Hurts play. But should we teach the old man some strategy or no? Or should we wait till week 3, week 4 to teach Tony a little bit about the game?
Yeah, I'm loving the lines that he's dropping, but let's
No. I was going to say it for week 2. I could have waited. Quarterback.
I know what you meant.
Dave took a quarterback. The audience took a quarterback, so nobody's taking a quarterback.
I get it, but I wanted to throw him out there because I was happy. Right, okay. I'm happy. I'm good. I don't.
I was already typing in Jalen Hurts.
You brought me on here because I go against the grain, bro. I don't care about trends.
You're so confident that you're good no matter what. You're good.
I'm good. Okay. My wife tells me that every day.
Let me just say these 2 points. 1, Hurts at 7,800, great value. 2, I thought you were taking him when you took Rashad White because I did see that pair come in, and we were, and you had a chance ahead of me, and I didn't have any Eagles left. So either way, I mean. I'm with you. I think Hurts is a really good play. When we're looking at the board this week, there's a lot of good plays and we have all taken a quarterback here, except the audience, that has running potential. Pretty interesting. So let's go to the audience here.
Yeah, listen, the audience are already throwing stacks up here, man. I love it, man. They're already throwing stacks up here. They're getting in their defense. They want and I'll tell you what, Jason's gonna love this because I almost went Russ too. I almost went Russ.
Bro.
Just for Jay. Just for Jay.
We have to kick you off the show for a couple weeks.
Just for Jay. Listen.
Sticks likes Russ. He texted me. He texted me earlier today. He likes Russ this week. I was like, oh god.
Listen. Again, this is all about ego, man. I say this all the time. I don't just draft by ability. I don't draft by trends. Look at Sean Payton is not going to come out and he has been talking a lot of shit, right? He's been there's no way he's laying an egg. No way, right? I don't care if they don't win another game. Week 1, they're going to win. And he's going to put out an offensive explosion. And Greg Dulcich, man, I've been on the Dulcich train all year. Listen, Jimmy Graham. That's all you got to say. Jimmy Graham. Right?
He's
He's
similar.
going to build this offense around Dolchik. I'm telling you, especially with Judy hurt right now. So I do love that. And the audience wants Seattle, man. They want the Seattle defense pick here.
This audience just did it again, bro. They've taken every single pick. And if you want to laugh, Tony, you mentioned a name. I gotta say it. Tight ends for New Orleans Saints. They got Jawan Johnson, Taysom Hill, and Jimmy Graham. Like the combination to have Taysom Hill still in the league as a tight end somehow, and then Jimmy Graham is there, and then a guy who just miraculously scores the only touchdowns all year long last year for the Saints, Jawan Johnson's like, what do I got to do to just earn this spot? I just think it's funny every time I see that depth chart of the Saints.
Yeah, no, listen, man. I agree. I honestly, I forgot that Jimmy Graham was still in the league when I
he
heard
just got signed to Seattle. I mean, the Saints. I'm like, why did he? I honestly thought he was going to be a coach.
Yeah,
I really
that's
thought they were
thought.
coming in like a tight end coach, something of that nature. But no, I guess he's still good enough.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think he got rushed to the hospital last week or something. I don't know if he passed out or had a seizure or something.
Really?
But yeah,
He did. But it was weird. Like he fought somebody, but they called it a seizure. Like it was a weird thing that whatever happened. Yeah, he got arrested.
Oh, he got arrested?
Yeah. But then they called it a seizure. So then they're like, whatever he did wasn't like, I don't know.
So he had a seizure that made him do something to get arrested.
Or he fought somebody and called it a seizure.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. Interesting.
I'll leave it that I'm not a medical expert, but what I am an expert at is moving this DraftCast forward. And let's go Tony for his next pick. And by the way, audience, I like where you're at. You're definitely, 3 picks left. You're over 5K in your next 3. So that's good.
So this is another easy one for me, right? So I go strategy a little bit. I will do this little strategy here. I keep saying I like the Tampa Bay Minnesota game. I'm gonna get my tight end. I'm gonna go with TJ Hockenson. Listen, he signed a contract. He's good, and 3 out of his last 4 games, he's been in double-digit targets, and his catch to target ratio has been more than 80%. So I'm telling you right now, especially in this game, I don't know who Tampa Bay even has anymore. Like, I have no idea. I don't even know who Minnesota has anymore. I think this is the battle of trash, but that's okay. There's going to be a lot of points in this game, and I think Hawkinson's going to be, that heir apparent of Justin Jefferson until Addison really gets his way. So give me some TJ Hawkinson as my tight end.
Yeah,
nice pick.
I'm going to go with a name that I believe was mentioned before for a minute, Christian Watson, man. Going into this season, I was a little bit worried about Watson with Jordan Love, but I've seen enough from Jordan Love to know how good Watson was with Rodgers and how good Watson was late in the year. If Duke can be anywhere near that, he's got to be better than he was last year. Yes, there's a downgrade from Rodgers to Jordan Love here, but I think it might even be an upgrade because Rodgers can't make, Jordan Love can't make those big throws, more dump offs to Watson, end arounds, gadget plays, all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm getting a number 1 receiver at 6K. Nice matchup against the Bears. I'm hoping there's no weather or wind in Chicago, but other than that, I think Watson's going to emerge as a top 10 receiver this year. Get him in week 1 before everybody jumps back on the Watson train. 6K, good price, good matchup against Chicago. They're supposed to be down in this game. The Bears are favored in this game. I'm not sure if the Bears are going to win, but they're favored in this game. So maybe some garbage time as well. I know Dubs is a little banged up, so I'm going to go Watson, 6K with, Jordan Love. Hopefully, I do think Jordan Love is playable too. Dave mentioned he liked Richardson cheap. I think Howell cheap makes sense. For Washington, I think Jordan Love makes sense because we compare him with a Watson or a couple other players.
Yeah, no, I agree. Watson is dealing with a hamstring. Javon, you're right. That's your receiver. That's your anchor, right? That's your paddle. Like you need that to go. So it's a little concerning, but for the overall season output, I'm with you. I think Watson, when you said top 10, I'm not off that train. I think he has potential to be that, especially let's realize they play the Vikings, the Lions, and the Bears. Bottom 5 defenses 6 times. I like Watson this year. I'm with you. All right, I got to go tight end. And there's a lot of places I want to go. There's so much value in the tight end market this year. I can drop a lot of names, and we'll do that after this. I don't want to give away anyone else's picks. And I was kind of centering out around one that I really, really liked. But I'm going to go with David Njoku. And
Yeah, my man. My man.
Tony's guy.
4,200, right? I mean, we're in a. He's a target in the red zone. Deshaun Watson loves him. It's a proven fact. I mean, you want to throw to Cooper, that's fine. You want to throw to other guys on the side, that's fine too. But he's looking for Njoku in the red zone. If they don't give it to Chubb, I think it's Njoku. So 4,200, I think. And again, Cincinnati 23rd against tight ends. I think that's a really good value there. Man, I got a lot of money left for my last 3 picks. I'm a little over 5,000. I know I got to get interesting here, and I am. Let's see if I spell the guy's name right. But I'm going to go Deion Jackson. I think he is our best value at running back this season. This week at 4,100 for DraftKings. Who knows who's going to run for Indianapolis? But I do know this: they're going to need to, because the passing game's going to be. Jason, you said it earlier. The quarterbacks are going to struggle, right? I think at the most, we're going to see. They need to run the ball. So let me take an eye out of this. At 4,100, I think he may be the best value of all running backs this weekend.
Yeah, right now, from what I'm seeing, early look, Deion Jackson probably going to be 1 or 2, top
ownership
running backs owned as far as ownership goes. The price is too cheap. I haven't yet determined if he's good chalk, bad chalk for me. I think the upside is kind of limited, with Jackson, but falls into the end zone one time, catches a couple passes, at 4,100, especially in cash games, single entries, just trying to beat us 3. Great call. He's the best value on the slate. Safest value on the slate. I wouldn't call him the best value on the slate, but one of the safer values on the slate.
I agree.
I'm going to go discount too. I got a lot of, pricey guys. In GPPs, typically I'm going wide receiver, flex. Cash game, single entries, typically go in, someone like Deion Jackson in my flex or running back and get in there. But I'm going to go a little bit different. Taking a gamble here slightly. This game's got a 47.5 over under. Browns versus Bengals. I love Chubb season long. I'm not so confident in these wide receivers, in general, with Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore. You grab Njoku. But I think Moore is a good gamble here at 3.8. Doesn't need much. He gets 4 passes for 50 yards, maybe falls into the end zone. Get him at 10 points, 12 points, maybe some upside there if he breaks one. This game should be one of the higher scorer games. It's kind of getting slept on a little bit. I know Chase is going to be in line for a big game, Higgins in line for a big game, Burrow big game, but I'm going to go with Elijah Moore. Just think there's value there at that price tag, and should be an up-paced game.
I love it. I think Elijah Moore is a great play this week. 3,800. Yeah, and Tony's ringing the bell too. Elijah Moore is going to be good this year, if not good plus. And to take him at 3,800, you're only going to see that salary grow up all year. And like you said, in that game environment, you did your homework. You deserve that bell ring.
There you go.
What do you think, Tone?
Got the bell ringer, man. You gotta have the bell ringer a little bit. No, I like it, man. I do. I like the, I like the line of thought there, because I'm with Jay. I've never been an Amari Cooper guy. I'm just not. That's why I've been so sold on the David Njoku on that team. I'm not a Peoples-Jones guy. I'm not, like, I do think Chubb, but that they really like. Listen, if you have a head coach who's a run first coach and Kevin Stefanski, you already know he likes Elijah Moore because you can utilize him in so many different ways, right? So you're going to see little bubble screens possibly from Elijah Moore, maybe even like a jet sweep here or there. So I really think that as long as he can stay healthy, I like that pick for the year, but especially this week too.
Thank you.
Steven says, if you're looking at this week with Kelsey out, he says, what do you think of Gray?
No, Gray. It's interesting. That's it. That obviously it's not on our DraftCast, right? It's a Thursday night game. I will tell you a few things about that tomorrow. If you're playing in a showdown, David Montgomery is my favorite captain. I just think you're going to get value early with him, but Noah Gray could really sneak up and be a very, very good play tomorrow night. I like that. Our man Michael checking in, is Cole Kmet at 4,400 with a PFF projected ownership of 1.6%. Look at that gem right there. And you catch Michael's IDP segment tomorrow, giving you some 3 IDP gems on Win Daily. So look forward to that as well. But I think I'm up. Am I up? Yes, you are up, brother.
Man, you guys got me thinking, man. Like I'm thinking, like, wow, like where do I go here? Do I go, do I go value? Do I go with like who I really like? Like there's so wow, this is crazy, man. I don't even know where I'm gonna go. I don't know where I'm gonna go. But no, I do know where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna piggyback off of Jason's pick, right? So if Jason loves him some Lamar Jackson, then I'm gonna go with a love of mine in the offseason, which is Zay Flowers. So I again, it's at home.
It's great play, man.
Right? I just, seeing the way they utilize him in the preseason, he already looks polished, man. Mm-hmm. He really does. And as much as I love OBJ, this is the guy. And for 4,000 against Houston, who, listen, man, they're not sold yet. Like you said, they're not sold yet. So give me Zay Flowers at 4,000.
Yeah, love it. I love it.
I think I should have probably taken him to complete my Lamar Jackson slack. It was a slip up by me. Great call on the Flowers. I mean, I think they're using him. They finally drafted, a wide receiver right for this dude, Lamar Jackson. They've tried so many years with Bateman and Marquise Brown, and I thought you were gonna bring back your favorite guy last year, the guy Devin Duvernay, but
he's a little lower, man. You're
not ready for those calls. Yeah, we'll wait for like week 6 before Tony starts texting the most wild plays that score touchdowns. But no, I like the Zay Flowers call. I think it's a misprice at $4K. He can do a lot, man. Little dude, but can do a lot.
No, it's good. And here's the cool thing: you could run Lamar Jackson naked, right? You really can.
Yeah,
like he's that Justin Fields type. So you don't have to dig in and get a receiver there. So I don't blame you, Jason, but I do like digging in and getting a $4,000 receiver. So good job, Tony. I think the audience is ready.
Yeah, listen, they've been ready. They were ready last round, right? They already had their next 3 picks. And I like both of these picks, to be honest with you. I really do. I know you love Calvin Ridley, but the audience wants Javonte Williams and they want Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
So, and listen, the only knock I have on Javonte is, I got to see it first. Right?
I like the Williams call, though.
I
was leaning on him. I think I don't want to talk about him too much because you guys are in the season-long draft, but I like Williams a lot. I think he can be a bright spot on the Broncos, man. But injury is definitely a concern for sure.
No, it seriously is. And Javonte Williams, we only think about that game last year. They had it in Seattle. I think he had like 15 catches. It was ridiculous, right? And then he tore the ACL, and then all of a sudden, but that's our lasting memory. So if he can bring that back, and like Tony said, in Sean Payton's offense, we never know. But here's what we got. We got a few picks left, and we'll wrap it around and close this out. Tony, you're up. Flex or defense?
Man, I'll tell you, this is interesting, man. I will say this before I even pick. I really, really, really like this concept. I know I said it before, but now that I'm doing it, I really like it. I like the way that you can really formulate your team around any which way you want. I like how there is some strategy about it, even though I kind of bunk strategy here or there. But I do. I really, really like it. I'm gonna go with one of my sleepers this week, man. I know it's DFS, but I gotta do it. Everybody knows I'm a Justin Fields guy, right? And I obviously, I know DJ Moore is the guy out there. They have the long guy in, Darnell Mooney, and I get that, but I'm gonna go Chase Claypool. Listen, he's not on the injury report anymore. Okay, I know he had some interesting issues over there in Pittsburgh, and if you can't play for Tomlin, what does that mean? But I think he's a very talented receiver, and I think that watching them spread the ball around in Chicago this year with a new style of aerial attack with Justin Fields, I think Claypool, he could be that slot guy that he needs. He could be, I know he likes the tight end with Kmet, and I know, Mooney's going to go long. We don't know how many long passes going to throw, but I think that slot guy could be Chase Claypool. So give me him.
I love it. Chase Claypool could be like low ownership, be that guy that really rocks the slate. So good pick. Jay, you're up.
Yeah, look, slide this guy in tight end. Elijah Moore, slide him into flex. Luke Musgrave, hearing good things out of camp in Green Bay. If Dubs is slightly hurt or injured, I like taking a shot at these cheap, tight ends. 2.9. Only hearing great things. Haven't really seen too much on tape myself. I'm hearing great things. 2.9. Nice little matchup against Chicago. I'm not the biggest fan of, running two guys out in Green Bay. Just happened to be with everybody stealing my picks here and there. I had to kind of shift some things up. But Musgrave, Watson, one of them should go off. Both of them can go off. It's not like you're paying like a Tyreek price along with like Lamar Jackson price where you need like all this upside to come. But with Watson and Musgrave, say they go 1-2 in targets, or Musgrave finds himself into the end zone, I think I can hit value at 2.9. Could go wrong. Could only go out there and get you 3 or 4 points. But at tight end spot, I'm hearing great things about the kid.
I love it. Good pick. I think Luke Musgrave is a great, even season-long potential sleeper. I got 2 left. I'm going to wrap it around. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Cooper Kupp out makes this pick very important for me. You got Tutu Atwell or you got Puka Nacua, both at 3K. Big Puka guy coming out of BYU. Rookie here, but I think Tutu has a little bit more of the seasoning here, and Stafford may trust him more. Tutu's lining up as the number 2. So I'm going to take Tutu Atwell at 3K. Hold on, I can't spell right, but I will get it right in a second.
You said it right. You throwing tutus and pukus all together, bro. I would have mumbled that badly, bro. But yeah,
guess
you did
what
a good job.
I got some gold grills for 8,800. I got Justin Jefferson left in my
last
pocket,
pick of the draft,
and I'm going to line it up and sweep that board right there with a 3K receiver and then Justin Jefferson. Look, you can't go wrong with Tutu or Puka. I'm going to go Tutu. But, either way, I think both are in play this week. So, Jay, to you, round out with your defense.
Yeah, look, you stole my defense. Commanders, like everybody should play the Commanders. But if you don't play the Commanders, they're going to be – I feel like if you're in this zone, you just got to play them. Like the Commanders are just a smash play. You can't really get – defenses could be a tip ball. You score a touchdown and everything works out. But – I'll take a chance on the Packers. This is priced right. The Bears, yes, if you can just figure out a way to contain Fields from running around like a maniac, maybe keep him to 14. He throws a pick. I don't think he's proven yet. He's proven he can run for 100 yards a game, but he can't throw for 250 or 300. He's making mistakes. Camp throws. There's only one quarterback that looked worse than him is probably Dak or maybe Baker Mayfield in camp, or in Arizona we have issues. But Justin Fields, tip ball or a fumble, I think the Packers can find a way to the end zone. Kind of sneaky, same price as the Commanders.
All right, I like it. Packers could surprise, but they also have a good defensive line. Could get some sacks. Tone, you're going to clean out a defense here at 3K as well.
Yeah, listen, man. It's funny. You talked about the game earlier with Indianapolis and Jacksonville, and if everybody knows too, I'm kind of down on Jacksonville this year. I'm down on T-Law.
I'm with you.
I just listen. I think the ceiling at 25-8. That's the ceiling. That's what you saw last year. I don't think he even gets that this year. I think he's like 22 touchdowns and 12 picks. That's what I have for T-Law. And I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts at 2,400. I like the Colts defense. I like Zaire Franklin. It looks like, Leonard's at risk for concussion, but they have a solid linebacker core out there. And I think they can mix it up on the defensive side and give me some really good value with that. $600 left. I will say this. I know we're not allowed to do this, but it's my first draft. So I messed up a little bit.
You can't take your shirt off, Tone. Take your shirt off.
I'm not, right? But I was good. I was supposed to take Jonathan Mingo instead of Chase Claypool, but that's okay. I'll stick with it. Never know what'll happen, but I did have fun.
Yeah. So let me just get on that in a second here. We've watched Doug Peterson coach teams here in Philadelphia, and look, they underperform a lot until the playoffs. The Jaguars might be good by the time we get to the end of the year like they did last year. They finished 7-1 late in the season. It's what he does. He loses games early. We struggle in October and November, and we're not going to make the playoffs, and Doug Peterson finds a way to pull it out. I do think that's the way it's going to go, and I like that Colts pick. I think here's why I like the Colts pick. No one will.
Nope.
It's going to be so undervalued that I think that is a really good play. If they can get after the quarterback, you never know. So, Tony, your audience is up.
Yeah, I think it's just easy, man, and I love it. I love this audience pick because Dave, how many times have we talked about
You
can't
love
guard Mike? Can't guard Mike, right?
But
Michael Thomas.
value.
Is there a bigger range of outcomes? I was telling C about it. Is there a bigger range of outcomes for a wide receiver than Michael Thomas?
Oh,
No.
Like he can play one game. He can maybe catch 100 balls, or he could do absolutely nothing. It's I don't know where to draft this guy. I really don't. For season long, I don't know where he belongs. I was actually looking at Olave, like one of my early mocks of this. I was looking at Olave. I think Olave's obviously the safer guy here. Long ball threat, could blow the top off the defense here. But Michael Thomas, I don't know what the hell to do with this guy. I don't know what to expect week one. I'm hoping he's healthy for week one. Fair price. It's weird, man. Michael Thomas, Jimmy Graham, Carr. It's a weird combination. And then also, I don't know what the hell to do with Jamal Williams, week one. He's a fair price for the Saints too. Like everybody doubted him all last year, just scored touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. So there's some other plays here, man. But I think we got some pretty good teams. Dave, we were trying to do a penalty for losing last year, but we never instituted these penalties.
Shots.
Yeah, I think it should be a shot, chugging beer, something fun. We got to think about it. We'll let Tony help vote. Maybe audience can vote for that.
Or
but,
you can take a shirt off.
I'll chug a ginger ale.
Unsweetened iced tea, bro. Come on.
Nah, ever since the kidney stone, I'm out on iced tea, bro.
You can't do unsweetened iced tea now?
Nah, I'm good. No way.
Well, hey, guys, I mean, we're right at the end of this, and we want to get into our Win Daily Draft coming up here in a minute. But let me just close with a couple things here, right? There's a lot of value. There's probably guys we didn't draft real fast. So I want you to think about it real quick here. Is there someone out there that wasn't drafted? I'll give you a couple guys real fast while you guys think about it. And I'm going to tell you there's still some value in probably the receiver area. I think Trey Palmer has a lot of value. Marvin Mims as well. If Jerry Jeudy doesn't go, we got a situation there where 3K could be really good. And in the running back role for me, Khalil Herbert wasn't drafted at 5,300 against the Packers defense. It was 31st against the run DVOA value. I think that's good. Kenneth Gainwell also. Tony, you know this. 4,200. We don't have any clue what the Eagles are going to do. But you could be one of those guys if Kenny Gainwell pops at 4,200 that is leading a GPP. So those are kind of some picks out there that didn't go that I was looking at. Guys, you got any, Jay?
Yeah, I got a couple. I think, million maker lineups, a lot of times these 5K quarterbacks that nobody wants to play ends up being on the winning lineup. So I think Sam Howell and Derek Carr, 4.9, 5.3. Those would be the guys I look to. I know Sticks is kind of on Russell Wilson. I can't get there myself. I think Jamal Williams, interesting at the running back position. He's cheap. Mentioned him. I think, obviously, I like Mozart. Ramondre Stevenson is going to be this entire offense, so he can find his way in the end zone. I don't know how I feel about Adam Thielen. I know he's a little banged up. I do think –
I like Mingo. I like Mingo better.
Jaden Reed, too. I think he's popped off. I don't know if it's week one. That's why I went with Watson. But Jaden Reed, if you want to get different at 3K. Cortland Sutton, he's a guy that was supposed to be good. Never really panned out so far. I think he's a fair price. If you don't want to go in, he's fair price. And then at tight end, I like Musgrave. I think at 2.9. If it's not him, you got Chig at 3.8. Mark Andrews popped up with some injury concerns as well, too. If he's out, I think Isaiah Likely obviously makes a bunch of sense, too. So you got to keep out and keep up with the news. Our guys going to be doing a Sunday, pregame live at 11 a.m. on Sunday. So a lot of shit can change from Wednesday to Sunday. We're not really sure of a couple things as of right now. So I think a lot of things can change. But outside of that, I think Dave nailed it with the Commanders. Just where you have these spots where there's just, obvious value, go out there and take it and try to get different. Just understand what you're building for. If you're building for GPPs, you take shots. If you're building for single entry cash games, you take a couple shots, but you also play it safe. But anybody on this board right now, I can make a case for, whether it's GPP or cash, that they make sense.
I love it, Jay. I know you had some good picks there. I agree with all of them. Tony, we save any for you?
Nah, man. I just want to ask one question. All the Bijan Robinson love all year long. I don't see any Bijan on this board.
No,
I don't see any Bijan on this board.
So let me just say this with Bijan. If you play FanDuel, he's a little bit better. But I do like Bijan on the board. I do. I feel like guys like Eckler, like what you guys took with Chubb, I mean like Mixon, I think they're just a little slightly above Bijan. But I do think Bijan will have a good week. Will he have a slate breaking week? I don't think so, but I think he'll be good.
With Bijan, Henry, and Jacobs are probably going to be way underowned for GPPs. Bijan might pop a little bit because there's still a lot of hype around him, but there's like no hype around Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry, and it's not like they have like a super tough matchup. So, try to get different. I think they're interesting. And ATN is another guy that we didn't really mention. If the Colts don't show up, he could have a big third, fourth quarter as well.
Love it.
Last thing, I will say this. Just get ready, right? Jay already talked about the Devin Duvernay, right? So everybody loves Theo. We checked in, say low ownership, Tony, right? I love the low guys. You watch, man, 5,200. We're gonna be watching some web gems of Kenny Pickett this week, and we're gonna be like, "Whoa, 52." Kenny Pickett is the real deal. You watch this week when he throws for 250 and 3 touchdowns. You watch that.
He can rush too. He's sneaky. Like he can find his way into the end zone rushing too. So there's value there. Don't be afraid. Week 1, man, get different.
Yep.
We'll have our projections up, lineup optimizer, ownership projections, all that kind of good stuff. And we haven't really spoke about it much, but we're launching our new site within the next couple hours. So be on the lookout, windailysports.com. We're going to be throwing out promos for free memberships as well. Swag store will be up. We'll be giving a lot of giveaways, moving forward on the show. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, and check it out Sunday morning. And Tone, you got a lot of content, man. You guys been working on some content. So just give a little holler to the new team members that are going to be on the show. Where you can find them: TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, everywhere. On our site, Discord,
just everywhere. You're going to see them everywhere, man, which is great. I mean, whether the old dogs or the new dogs, right? Which is unbelievable, man. We have so much. I say this respectfully. When I came on with Win Daily, me and Jason would go back and forth, and I used to say, Jay, we got to get some season-long content in here. I know we're a DFS site, and I know we tip our heads in the sports betting, but there's some season-long fantasy people out there that really love this game. We got to get the audience in, and he listened. And this year we've built a hell of a content team with Julia doing waiver wires. We got Tara doing underdog. We got Michael doing IDPs. We got the Dynasty boys doing Dynasty dogs or doing Dynasty. We got redraft. We got season-long. We got Jonathan doing a weekly rewind every Tuesday that's going to have highlights. It's going to have statistics. We got the DraftCast. We got Twitch popping off. I'm just saying, we got Connor doing showdown picks. There's so much stuff that's going to start to happen. So just make sure you get to windailysports.com. Make sure you follow, and you will not be disappointed.
I love it. Let's get us out of here, man. Before we hit that hour mark, man. You can't hit that hour mark. Tony's going to fire my ass.
I tell you what.
Real fast. Shout out to Matt Vecchio as well, because Adam checking in says Win Daily crushes it on NASCAR, and Matt does a hell of a job in Discord and articles, man. That's where he's at.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure hosting this show, Tony. A lot of fun. Thank you, audience, for checking in. This is what it's all about. We're about engagement. We can win the contest. We had a great hit in college football over the weekend. As you know, Joe went on to that show,
20,000.
20,000.
And here's the thing, like, we're all about engagement. We want you to win, us to win, everyone to win. We're here as a community. We're not here as hosts, Dave, Tony, and Jason. We're here as a community to try and win together. That's what we are, season long, to DFS, to betting. We got it all this season coming up, and we can't wait to be here for you as the number one source to whatever you need, because that's what we're here for. I'm Dave. That's Tony. That's Jason. We're going to be back here every single week. Join in as always. We'll have special guests. We can't wait to do this each and every Wednesday, 9 p.m. But until then, I'll be tracking these points. I'll be posting them on Twitter. Keep your eyes on it. If there's an injury status, audience, please text or tweet me, Tony, or Jason, who you want to sub in. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. This is Win Daily Sports, the NFL DraftCast, as we always do here every week. Can't wait to do it again next week. Let's go,
Later,
boys.
everyone.
Until next week, let's have some fun.